Father God, we thank you for this day. We thank you, God, for you watching over us and keeping us. For our song, we heard the prayers, God. We've been asking you to use us. So God, we pray that those words that come from a heart that is willing to do whatever you ask us to do. The truth is nothing to play about. We are asking you to do something. Once you place a calling on our life and on our heart, and we need that. So God, we pray that we really be attentive to what we say and how we respond to you. But God, just like we want to take you at your word, I know you want to take us at our word. And so God, we do thank you for our being crucified with Christ. It is no longer I that live, but Christ who lives in me. The life I live in the flesh, I live by faith through the Son of God who loved me and delivered himself from me. I pray, oh God, that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O God, my rock, my strength, and my redeemer. Amen. 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 Sister Lockhart, Minister Lockhart, was supposed to bring the word today, but there's been a change actually. I've given my heart to try to prepare a message, and then she texted me on Friday. She wasn't doing the best. I talked to Sister Hayes, and she okay. She'll be permission to bring the word today. And Sister Lockhart texted me again this morning and said she was having an allergic reaction to something that was going on. And so that lets me know that we have to always be ready. Always be ready. Always be ready. I should never forget when I was going to seminary, my instructor, preaching seminary, said you always ought to have a Bible in one hand and a newspaper in another. The change the is and the wasn't of the word until the present day reality. And then based on what has happened in our community over the last week or so, God has laid a message on my mind, our heart from 1 Samuel chapter 31. And I'm coming from the Message Bible. And you can follow those verses on the screen. If you would all please stand. Thank God for each and every one of you. Thank God for the leadership, the deacons, the ministers, trustees, and thank God for our guests who are with us today. The Philistines made war on Israel. The men of Israel were in full retreat from the Philistines, falling left and right, landed on Mount Gibeon. The Philistines caught up with Saul and his son. They killed Jonathan, Abinadab, and Shua, Saul's son. The battle was hot and heavy around Saul. The archers got his range and wounded him badly. And Saul said to his weapon bearer, draw your sword and put me out of my misery. Lest these pagan pigs come and make a game out of killing me. But his weapon bearer wouldn't do it. He was terrified. So Saul took the sword himself and fell on it. When the weapon bearer saw that Saul was dead, he too fell on the sword and died with him. So Saul, his 3 sons, and his weapon bearer, the men closest to him, died together that day. You may be seated. Today won't be my normal screaming and yelling and spitting on people. Today I want to deal with really a serious subject that we very rarely deal with, and that is mental health. Right? And so for my text, I'm going to talk about it didn't have to end like this. All right. Just about a year ago, we were shocked when we heard of 2 people, Katie Spade and Anthony Bourdain, when they had passed away within days of each other. And what surprised everyone is the way that they had died. By their own hands. They committed suicide. And many people wonder how bad could life really be. Right. Did they really believe in God? And if so, maybe they didn't believe in God from their heart, because if they would have, they would not have taken their lives. Could things really be that bad where people actually get tired of living? See, in our community, we don't deal with the issues of suicide because we got more pressing things that we feel we need to deal with. Money. Who's talking about who? Who's driving what? Who lives where? Who play club or crew is somebody in? Right. So we often don't deal with serious issues that are affecting our community. But there is a silent killer that we're not addressing publicly, even though many of us face it every single day. Amen. This issue is called mental health stigma. See, the reality of depression, grief, and hurt can be so overwhelming that it can cause people to want to end their lives. Don't take my word for it, statistics back it up. It is suggested that the largest demographic on the rise for suicide is the African American youth. CDC did a study in 2015 that chronicles children between 1993 to 2013, and they found that the numbers doubled for suicide for African American youth between the age of 5 and 11. Can you believe somebody 5 to 11 feel like their life is not worth living? Yeah, that's a question. Do you think life can be that bad at such a young age that you're already ready to throw in the towel? Hanging by suicide has tripled by African Americans, young men. The third largest killer between the ages of 15 and 24 in the African American community is suicide. And we never discuss it. We never talk about it. Now there's this thing that they chronicle as slow suicide, where people do things when they're depressed that will slowly kill them. They get involved in activities that they know will end up in the early demise of their lives. And the truth, they told many of us, don't even know the symptoms of depression. You could be living with someone who is wrestling with depression and you wouldn't even know it. Because we're all so busy with our own world. Trying to do things the way we want them. And so, most of the time we can be with somebody and never know that they deal with those issues. It's amazing that you can live with somebody and don't realize, or you can be sitting on the same pew with somebody and don't realize the thoughts that could be running through their minds right now. Even though they're in the house of God. In the culture we live in, it's easy to live publicly and die privately. Posting on Facebook and social media, I'm living my best life now, I'm turning my L's into lessons. But in private, you're slowly dying inside. And I admit that the church doesn't deal with this issue very much, because we as a community, we as African Americans, we think we're so strong. We say we survived slavery, we survived Jim Crow, we survived the equal rights movement. So we think we have some type of badge of honor to show how strong we are. And when we encounter someone who's dealing with depression or hurt, one of the things we say is just pray about it. Or we'll give somebody a bunch of scriptures to read, as though somehow that's going to magically make them overcome what they're dealing with. Simply because we are afraid to deal with that issue ourselves. We'll tell people, get up, get on with your life. And that's not good theology, because that type of theology actually can put somebody over the edge. It's possible to go to church and right after church take your own life. A very good friend of mine from Macon, Georgia, that just took over his dad's church. 4,000 members. Had the first service, they went home. They had another service at 3:30. He took his wife and daughter back to church. He told him he needed to go home to get his sermon, which he did. They found him in the parking lot at his own house dead with his Bible and his sermon in his hand. From suicide. Just left church. Just telling people this sermon is still online, so hold on and help is on the way. Just preached about it. And he commits suicide. So it's possible to see people in this room praising God, but going through some mental turmoil and you are not even aware of it. Because we get so caught up on what it looks like on the outside. So what do? Because depression does not care what you drove here. Depression don't care how educated you are. It don't care about what your income is. It does not care about what kind of clothes you have on. Life can be very difficult. And there's periods that we need to expect life to be difficult. But whatever you do, don't ever give up. Amen. This message has been weighing heavy on my heart all week after hearing the loss of some youth from our community. And though it may not have directly affected us being somebody that belonged here, the fact that those two young lives was a part of this community. Amen. And we ought to have this great concern for those as we would if they would have been part of our church. And so God laid in my heart to come in such a way because we never know. And we pray it never happens to somebody in this church. You see, we learn how to go through the motions of our dysfunctions. We know how to cover up and deal with our dysfunctions. We know how to make it look pretty on the outside. And it seems like that everything is all right, even though on the inside we're hurting. In this chapter 31, Saul has had a roller coaster ride. Saul's reign is coming to an end after almost 40 years of being king, Israel's first king. His replacement is on death. But in just a few verses, we get to peek at Saul's life. After all he's been through, after all he's had to endure, the final verses of Saul's life is that he fell on his own sword. What a way to be king. To have reached the pinnacle and you end up being so high that you end up falling so low. I believe we could be honest, some of us have had some Saul thoughts ourselves. We may not never tell anybody. But some of us have often wondered, would things be better if I wasn't here? So today I wish I could talk to Saul, because I would have to ask Saul a few questions. I'm preaching this one to myself. I wonder what it would have been like, but I was able, when I felt myself in that area, to not go the final step. Because no matter how bad I felt, I always had a belief in God that he would see me through. Please remember that your life is worth living. I don't care how bad it gets. So I would ask Saul, I would say, Saul, whatever you do, don't let the day hurt make you forget yesterday's help. If you look at verse number 1 in chapter 31, the Philistines made war on Israel. The men of Israel were in full retreat from the Philistines, falling left and right, wounded on Mount Gibeon. It's been 40 years. 40 years that Saul has been fighting the Philistines. Yes, sir. I mean, can you imagine fighting the same enemy for that long a period of time? 40 years, I mean, by now something would have to give. I don't think I could do it for 40 years. Yeah. Saul has been fighting the same enemy for 40 years. And I know some of us will think that just because we won battles in the past, that means we're going to continue to win battles. This text shows us that there's some stuff in our life, if we be honest with ourselves, we're going to have to fight every day of our lives. There's some issues that all of us have that we will always be fighting. I know you look good, I know you got well-paying jobs, I know you got health insurance, but there's some, I know everything is going good in your family, but there are some issues all of us have to deal with. And if you say you don't, you're lying. All of us got something we're dealing with. And so ain't the cat already out the bag. He's out. All of us got something to deal with. I don't care how good we look. I don't care how eloquent we can talk. I don't care where we're from. We all got something we're dealing with. I may not look as crazy as you, but I got some stuff I have to deal with every day. Some stuff we'll always have to battle against. And I know we'll get to the point where we think we can manage it because we got through it today. And yesterday is behind me. But let me say something. If you ain't careful, what you beat yesterday can come back and beat you tomorrow. If you become too casual with your Philistines, and the question is, what is your Philistines? It's sad to have enemies and you don't even realize you have them. It's sad to have to battle with something that you don't even recognize that's your battle. Saul had defeated the Philistines before. God had given him his very first victory over the Philistines. But just because he won yesterday, today is a brand new fight. Just because you mastered something for one season of your life does not mean that one thing will not come back again. It's amazing, even in my life, some things that I thought I had victory over some time ago, I realized that I'm still fighting. I know y'all probably trying to figure out what is it. Truth be told, we all got an Achilles or two, or three, or four. And so I have to be careful. I have to always remember that some things I just don't need to be around. Some things I need to vacate myself from because if I play with it too much, I end up in a place where I shouldn't be. What is your Philistines? What thing that no matter what you do, it always have your number? I don't care how many times you change it, it knows your number. I don't care how many times you move, it still knows where you live at. What's the one thing that you just can't seem to get past that keeps you back? You always got to make sure that you keep your head on the swivel, that you never go green, you never relax. Because just when you think you got it mastered, that's when the Philistines will attack. Don't you ever think your Philistines won't come back. They may be gone for a period of years, but they'll show back up. You better always stay on God. Just because you won yesterday don't mean it won't come back. You got to remember when your enemies come back, that God helped you before, and the same God that helped you then can still help you today. In this text, the enemy has caught up with Saul. And if we would look at verse 3, it says, the battle was hot and heavy around Saul. The archers got his range and wounded him very badly. The Philistine archers shot their arrow and wounded Saul. Archers back then is what we would call today snipers. And what made archers so effective and so dangerous is because you didn't know where an arrow was coming from, and you didn't know when it was coming. Saul got hit by something he didn't know it was coming, or which direction it was coming from. So many times when the enemy attacks us, he doesn't expose himself by how he's attacking. He often hits you at a moment when you're least expecting him. And that is what happened to Saul. Saul got hit by something he wasn't expecting. Maybe it's your anger. Maybe it's an unforgiving spirit. Maybe it's just you who haven't dealt with you yet. And you want to blame everybody else for your unhappiness. Maybe because somebody ain't acting the way you think they ought to act, you feel like you ought to make them act like you want to act. Some of us can handle stuff that we can see, but what can you do about stuff you wouldn't expect? How do you deal with issues that just come out of nowhere? It's easy to talk about it when it's in somebody else's house, but what about when it's in your house? I can be honest, some of the stuff that happened to me, I really wasn't expecting it. I thought I had it all together. Saul got wounded on the battlefield from something he wasn't expecting.
Yes, sir.
And you and I got to realize unexpected stuff will always come. I wish I could have told Saul, Saul, remember your location. Saul, you're in the place of Gibeon. Gibeon is the place where Israel won in first battle. Israel won a lot of victories in Gibeon. While Deborah was judged, they won in Gibeon. While Gideon was judged, they won there in Gibeon. Matter of fact, Saul won a lot of victories himself in Gibeon. I would tell Saul, Saul, you've been wounded before and you didn't give up when you was in Gibeon. So why at this point that you got wounded, why do you give up now? You got to always remember your places of your victories. Somebody ought to say amen with that one. Because that gives you an assurance that if God gave you a victory before, in a certain place, that He'll give it to you again. I may get hurt, I may get disappointed, I may not know which way to go, I may not know how many years meet, I may have more month than bill, but I know if God did it for me in January, I just believe that He was coming up on April, He would do it again, because He's proven that if I stay in the same place, He will continue to give me the same victory. I don't care how ugly it is, I don't care how ugly it is, I don't care what you're going through life. You got to realize that the same God who's been with you this long, promised to never leave you or forsake you. Don't you allow your today to make you forget about yesterday. Now, if anybody in the house has some rough yesterday, so just God, He didn't get you to the day. And don't you know if He got you to the day, He ain't going to turn around and walk out on you now? That don't make you shout. I know it get hot sometimes. I know the grease get hot on the frying pan. But the same God who's been with me all the time, I'm just going to take Him at His word. I would say, Saul, second point is Saul, make sure you got the right people around you to give you the hard truth. Saul, make sure you got the right people around you to give you the hard truth. Verse number 4, Saul said to his weapon bearer, try your sword and put me out of my misery. These pagan pigs come and make a game out of killing me. The armor bearer is so terrified, he don't say that. He's Saul's closest companion. He's supposed to be there to take care of Saul. Saul talks to his armor bearer, and his armor bearer don't even respond. And you do know Saul is just as bad advice. This armor bearer is not the one who used to be his armor bearer. His armor bearer used to be a shepherd boy by the name of David. David loved Saul. David always protected Saul. Now in chapter 31, instead of having David as his armor bearer, he's got somebody else who doesn't have his back. He's got somebody who's an armor bearer who won't even talk to him. I mean, what's the point of having an armor bearer and they won't be there to answer you when you find yourself dealing with some tough situations? You need some folks who are in your corner who will tell you the truth. No matter whether you want to hear or not, you need some folks who ain't always a yes boy, yes man. You need some folks who will tell you, you get a little bit too close there and fire still burns. Saul takes his own life. I wonder what would have happened if David would have been there. It doesn't matter who you have speaking to you when you're wounded. When you are hurt, it makes a big difference on who you can count on. As a matter of fact, it's during those times you need the right people in your life to encourage you and keep you going. Because in the season, you don't need people who won't be true. You need some people who are going to tell you to lift up your heads, all you gates, and be lifted up, you everlasting doors. The kingdom of glory shall come on. You need some people who are going to encourage you. Some people that can help you wipe your tears. Some people that just say, I'm afraid for you. They never pray for you. You need some people who ain't afraid to pick up the phone call and check on you. You need some people who ain't afraid to come over at the midnight hour. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Have you ever been lonely? Have you ever been disappointed? every 2 or 3 of us we have somebody like that.
Come on.
You need some people who say, I know you hurt, but I'm here to fight with you.
Yeah.
Not just to identify I'm hurt, but I'm going to fight with you. If you go down, I'm going down with you.
Yeah.
See, 2 of us don't have folks like that in our corner, but you got at least one person in your corner who, if you going down, you know you can get down, they're going to go down with you. If you keep a blessed portion just by everybody needs to know. Everybody needs one dog in their life. Everybody needs at least one head, boo. I'm grateful that when I'm wounded, I can always find the right person who can encourage me and keep me going. I showed you to him, he was here on my anniversary. I don't care where I'm at. If I'm going through something, he'll be there.
All right. All right.
I can be in Florida, he'll fly to Florida.
Yeah.
I can be in Colorado, he'll fly. You got to have something. And can I tell you something about it? Can I tell you something about it? I ain't got the most polished life, but let me be in need for anything. Let me be in need for $1,000. Let me be in need for $5,000. Let me be in the hospital these days. And can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
Go to church that often.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Don't go to church. Not that often.
Yeah.
You would think to have somebody like that in your life. They know all the hymns.
Yeah.
They know all about it.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily true. Sometimes they're the worst they grow. I'm sorry. Sometimes they're the worst they ever had in your life. Some of the ones that sit right by you. They'll be the first ones to pull a Benedict Arnold on you. They'll be the first one that become a committee. They'll be the first one to swing up on you. They'll be the first one to go out and go to the street. The one that sits by you, that stays in your hand, but I'm so glad to see you, they'll take you out before you can let go. As a matter of fact, it probably takes you about right now. I need some tough folks around me. People that when I'm wounded. I mean, what happens when you depend on your armor bearer and you don't even pull out his weapon? I'm right there in the text. He tells him, and his armor bearer don't say nothing. You don't even pull out his. Man, if you gonna be with me, you gotta have a seat, you gotta have a block, you gotta have a you gotta have some of each other. I know, y'all saved, sanctified, don't have no enemies, ain't got no haters, ain't got no distractions, but I still got some folks don't get out with me. And I don't mind that between me and thee, we depart from one another between me and thee. Lord, watch between me and thee as we depart from one another. Basically, meaning I don't have to see you no more. Let the door hit you with a good Lord space. I be surrounded by folks with me. I can't hang with everybody. Everybody can't hang with me.
Come on now. Come on now.
I'm about to close this.
Come on now. Don't worry about it. Come on.
Saul, I would tell Saul, you know, Saul, it's okay, but get some help.
Yeah.
Look at verse number 2. The Philistines caught up with Saul and his sons. They killed Jonathan, Abinadab, and Mashur, Saul's sons. 3 of Saul's sons who were with him were killed on the same day. Can you imagine being on the battlefield and watching 3 of your 4 sons laying there dead? I believe that exasperated his pain even more as he witnessed his own boys die. I mean, what do you do with hurt and disappointment and woundedness that you can't do anything about? How do you deal with the things that you have no control of? Saul is king. Kings ain't supposed to cry. Men ain't supposed to cry. Pull yourself up by your own bootstrap. Just get over it. Just bottle up your pain. It's going to be okay. King Saul can't cry because he's the king. room and talk that you can't show your emotions because that makes you weak. I don't mind kicking some butt when I'm crying. That's okay. It don't mean I'm weak. I mean, I didn't get up out of me. I might have been doing all at the same time. But we believe because we show we are hurt. That means I'm not strong. Man. Have people telling us to get over it. Move on. Nothing is worse to me than church lingo. Nothing. I should never forget my grandfather, who I idolized tremendously when he passed. And I was sitting there at the funeral, and folks would come and pat me on my shoulder and say, God never makes a mistake. That's the last thing I want to hear. He going to a better place. I don't want to hear that. Right now, I need some encouragement. Right now, I need somebody to say, I know you hurt, but you're going to get through this thing. And I'm going to make sure you get through this thing. I'll fight. It's all right to cry. It's okay to lay on the floor prostrated and cry. And it's okay to share some tears. But we want to make folks feel bad for showing their emotions. It's just flowery stuff. That don't help me. Tell me it's going to pass. Right now, I'm hurt. Right now, I need somebody to sit by me. Right now, I need somebody to hold my hand. Right now, I need somebody to put their arm around me. Don't tell them it's going to be okay. No, say, I'm here with you. Quick to give me a scripture and a prayer. Well, what if I can't focus? Enough to read a scripture. That your mind ever been so combobulated that you don't even understand what to read? Matter of fact, sometimes I just need somebody to talk to. I don't need you to say nothing. Just listen to me whine. But no, we want to tell them, take this scripture and the prayer is going to be okay in the morning. No. And I love it because you have to think about it. Didn't God say I would wipe the tears from your eyes?
Yes, He will.
If you ain't crying, then you got no tears to wipe. You got to know that whatever you're going through, God can handle any hurt. God can handle any pain. He can handle any grief. And so God wants us to open up enough to trust Him that when we can't trust anybody else, we have a God. Stop trying to be strong by yourself. It takes more than prayer and the scripture. You need somebody who will speak to you. You need somebody who you can speak to. Can I tell you something else? It's okay to need some real help. It's okay to go lay on somebody's couch. Nice. You know, and good license. I can tell some of y'all ain't laying on no couch.
Talk to somebody.
It's okay to go talk to somebody. Yeah. You say what you want to. You catch me on a Tuesday. Sometimes I'm somewhere talking to somebody. I don't mind busting the VA wide open. You say, I don't mind going to somebody else like me. I know some of y'all can handle about turning up their head and get the gun and sort of good. But I need, when that stuff wear off, I need something else. They said I do that, so I'm going to stop. It's okay to go lay on somebody's couch and talk to you. We think that because you a certain pigmentation, you don't need to talk to somebody. All of us need somebody to talk to sometimes. You ain't that good. You ain't that special. You're above talking to somebody. Wonder why you stressing out? Why you got a headache? Why you gonna close that? Because you won't go down. Fourth and finally, So know what you need to do. Know what you do affects more than you. Out here, so you got to realize what you do affects more than you. Then verse 11 and 12 says it like this, says that the people of Jabesh Gilead heard what the Philistines had done to Saul. The violent man spring into action. They traveled all night, took the corpse of Saul and his 3 sons from the wall at Bethshan and carried them back to Jabesh and burned off the flesh. They then buried the bones under the tamask tree in Jabesh and fasted in mourning for 7 days. It's amazing. This is the people who, if you look back at some of the history, Saul's first battle, he gave these people their freedom. These people had been in bondage to somebody else, and Saul went to war, and he gave these people their freedom. Saul never, you never read it nowhere else in the text, but Saul had any reaction with these people. But they loved Saul so much. It had been 40 years since they had talked to Saul. But the text says when they heard about what happened, they put themselves in danger to go get some dead bodies. So, you got to know that you killing yourself don't just hurt you, but you hurt somebody else. I mean, they traveled, it was 12, I believe it was 15 to 20 miles away. They traveled all night into enemy's territory to retract Saul and his son's body. They was willing to put their own lives on the line. Now, if that ain't love, what is love? You got to know when depression and those things come your way, you got to know there's somebody that loves you. Yeah. May not be somebody an immediate family member, may not be your spouse, may not be your children, but you got to know when you decide to do that act, yes, sir, you hurt somebody else. Yeah. The text says that it hurt them so bad that they went into mourning for 7 days. 7 days, no eating, no drinking. Matter of fact, we can't have a good homegoing celebration without coming back here breaking the bird. Yeah. 7 days, they loved him so much that they went into mourning for 7 days. You got to know that no matter how bad it gets in your life, you got somebody that loves you. Yeah. Can I tell you who that is? Come on. It was over 2,000 years ago. Yeah. He came through 42 generations. He died because he loved you. He stayed in the grave 3 days because he loved you. He got up early Sunday morning because he loved you with all power and everything. You got to know, I don't care how bad it gets in your life, you got somebody that loves you. What you do affects somebody else. Yeah. Doors of the church are open, but you all please stand. Doors of the church are open, but you all please stand. There's somebody here. You do not know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior.